you know what it means to be a motherless daughter? Did you know you can have mother loss without mother death? Mother loss comes in many forms, and Motherless Daughters Ministry is here to help you navigate through your particular mother loss. While you are unique, you are definitely not alone. We have 20 years worth of pearls of wisdom to help you on your mother loss journey, and we are sharing all of these pearls with you through this very podcast, Nurturing Words, Voices of Experience, sponsored lovingly by Motherless Daughters Ministry.
Welcome to our 33rd episode and our second year of podcasting. I am your host, Gladys Bell, and we'd like to take a moment to thank all of you who have listened in during our first year. The Motherless Daughters Ministry is growing and launching new ventures, which now includes an Instagram page. So stay tuned and walk with us into the future of the ministry as we bring you more voices of experience. Now for today's episode, we're sharing an experience from a Motherless Daughters Ministry volunteer and blog writer, Julie Thompson. There are certain moments in time that change our lives forever. For me, one of those moments was when I learned my mom had passed away. It was 8 years ago, but I still remember it like it was yesterday. I remember waking up at 12:40 a.m. to my phone ringing and talking to one of my sisters. I listened as she told me about our mom's final moments. I remember hanging up the phone and laying in bed for hours, going between moments of shock. Did I just imagine that phone call? Moments of anger. Why didn't God allow me to be there? And moments of feeling completely devastated. My mom had battled breast cancer for 9 years, and while deep down I knew her time on earth was coming to an end, in that moment I learned that the thought of losing someone is very different than actually losing someone. At the age of 26, I became a motherless daughter. Motherless daughters share a special bond. Recently, I was reading the book Never Unfriended: The Secret to Finding and Keeping Lasting Friendships by Lisa Jo Baker. And within the first few pages, she shared that she became a motherless daughter at the age of 18. While her book focuses on how to create and keep lasting friendships, Lisa Jo Baker also shares how her friends supported her after her mother's death. I saw myself in part of her story. Lisa Jo's first phone call after her mom passed away was to a friend. My first phone call was also to a friend. A few weeks before my mom passed away, one of my closest friends told me to call her whenever I got the call. She didn't want me to drive myself back home alone. She said she would drive, and she wanted to go with me. My friend followed through on her offer. After I called her, she dropped everything for me. She left work, packed her bags, and before I knew it, she was at my apartment with food in hand and her adorable dog. We had a quick lunch, and then she drove me to my hometown, which was 4.5 hours away, so that I could be with my family. It was the longest car ride of my life. Even though my heart was broken, I felt incredibly loved by my friend and her adorable dog who sat on my lap the whole time. In Never Unfriended, Lisa Jo Baker says, "Maybe the most intimate, radical thing we can do for our friends is to show up." Losing my mom helped me understand the truth of this statement. I felt loved when my friend showed up to drive me home. I felt loved when my former teaching mentor, who I hadn't seen in years, showed up at my mom's visitation. She drove an hour just to give me a hug. I felt loved when 7 of my friends, co-workers, showed up at my mom's funeral. Most of them had never met my mom, yet they drove 4.5 hours to comfort me. In the midst of my grief, God revealed His love for me through my friends. I learned that friends make sacrifices. Friends put others' needs in front of their own. Friends are willing to share your grief so you don't have to walk through the darkness alone. The hardest phone call of my life allowed me to experience the beautiful gift of friendship. I'm so thankful my friends showed up for me. Who will you show up for today?
Wow, this blog is so special for so many different reasons, and we're going to dive in after a quick message.
You are not alone. In fact, Motherless Daughters Ministry has nearly 10,000 women from all over the globe who are ready to support you. Where can you find these women? On our Facebook page at Motherless Daughters Ministry. There, you will find blog posts, videos, and nurturing conversations. Just type Motherless Daughters Ministry in the Facebook search bar. We can't wait for you to visit.
Friends carry our sadness when we're terrified we'll be crushed under the weight of it. This is a quote from the author of the book Never Unfriended by Lisa Jo Baker that Julie referred to in her blog. From the title, one would think that the focus of her blog is the phone call which did, in fact, change her life forever. Mother loss initiates a ripple effect of changes in multiple areas of our life, but it turns out that the primary focus of this writing is on the amazing support she received to get through a devastating life experience. Now, support can come in many forms, and in our virtual society, we have moved away from most direct forms of contact. Actual physical presence to communicate, meet, or celebrate with a group, or an actual written greeting card, letter, or note delivered by a postal service employee. But nothing can replace the actual presence of a friend. I believe it was said best by a statement Julie shared. Maybe the most intimate, radical thing we can do for our friends is to show up. It's important to note that the people mentioned in this story were already part of her life. The Bible tells us that a man that hath friends must show himself friendly. That's from Proverbs 18:24. So in order to have friends, you must be a friend to others. We have friends and we have acquaintances. There is a difference. Friends maintain a closer position than acquaintances in our circle of influence. Merriam-Webster defines a friend as a person who has a strong liking for and trust in another person. Other definitions use descriptive phrases such as not judgmental, maintain respectful boundaries, accepts, encourages, supports, makes time for you, sticks around for the good and bad times. The shock of the phone call was followed by the anguish of trying to accept the reality of losing her mom. The following hours were a flood of emotions. But why do you think that first call was made to that close friend? Her friend not only showed up at a critical moment, but she had been showing up. A friend takes the time to get to know you, your strengths and weaknesses, your concerns, and how you handle different things. A friend pays attention to the little things and follows up on changes. Someone who is supportive creates a safe environment for you to be yourself. Because support is imperative to navigating grief, the Motherless Daughters Ministry creates safe environments to begin the journey to heal from the impact of loss. Grief is painful. When people are in serious pain, they are sometimes hospitalized. Because the body heals best when in a state of rest, one of the first goals is to reduce the pain which keeps you uncomfortable and unable to relax. While trying to find the source of the pain, all of the patient's needs are met while keeping them in a safe environment. Julie's friend anticipated her need and prepared for an immediate response. She, quote, showed up, unquote, with food, and we know eating is the last thing on your mind in that situation. She showed up with reliable transportation and her adorable dog, which is documented as therapeutic. Julie revealed that she felt God's love through her friends and understood the powerful gift of simply showing up for a friend. She has written a number of blogs that share her personal story. You can find them all in our library of more than 300 blogs on our website at www.motherlessdaughtersministry.com. Simply put her name in the search bar, and you will find a list of her writings. Not only did we learn to recognize and value close friends in her story, but we were also issued a challenge to show ourselves friendly. Who will you show up for today?
Thank you for joining us here at Motherless Daughters Ministry. If you need more nurturing words, we encourage you to have a listen to other episodes of this podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe or follow button so you can join us again next time.